Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the eighth part of the Julia TicTacToe series. Uh, and I think uh, we're done with the minimax algorithm. We're done with the best move algorithm. Uh, so yeah, we're pretty much done with the entire game almost. But in this video, what I would like to do is introduce the idea of I want to introduce the idea of difficulty levels, right? So let's do that, right? Let's do that real quick. So the idea I have for difficulty levels, I'll have loser, I'll have easy, I'll have medium, I'll have hard, and I'll have impossible, right? So the idea for these is loser will be like basically the opposite of minimax, right? Player always wins, right? Oh, that's what I want. The player in the sense the human, human, human always wins. Easy is the random thing that we had in the beginning. You know, AI is random, and impossible will be AI is perfect. So right now we were playing on impossible, right? Because AI is perfect, and AI. So for hard, I'll have AI makes less mistakes. AI doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but in medium, I'll have AI makes some mistakes, right? Uh, so so yeah, I have these 5 tiers of difficulty, and we'll implement that. If we have time, we'll implement input scrubbing too, right? So let's get started, right? Let's get started real quick. And what I want to do is I want to say at the beginning we'll say difficulty. I would love to call it diff, but that's a thing in Julia. But okay, difficulty equals okay, let's just read line, I guess. Yeah, let's just read line. Call the difficulty. So what I'm doing here is I'm just asking the user for input, and it's like difficulty, right? So I'm doing. I think I should print this too. It makes sense. Just set like a equals 1 to 3, 1 to 3. I just changed the variable name from a to diff level. Oh, actually, this should be before we start playing the game. Yeah. So it's gonna print all the difficulty levels on a new line, and it's gonna say enter your difficulty, right? Obviously, this is not great input prompts. Uh, this is not a good input prompt at all. We'll write them at the end. We'll start, actually improving this. Here we're just printing 1, 2, and just tie. Um, but obviously we'll write better prompts for this later. But it's gonna print the difficulty levels. It's gonna be like difficulty, and then uh, it's gonna read the line, and we're gonna assume again here that the difficulty, the user actually enters a valid difficulty level. Uh, so let's see, split read line. We're splitting it. That's how about that? Yeah, that just makes sense, right? We're just assuming that they're using just one word, and yeah. So now we want to let the AI play according to the difficulty level, right? So we have to in AI move, we have to actually change the code to include the difficulty level to take in account the difficulty level, right? So let's just call it difficulty, and let's start writing. Let's change the AI move function here to include the difficulty level, right? Okay. Uh, so obviously, if difficulty equals impossible, then you're doing this, right? Because I think this will be else if, yeah, you have to write an if over here. So if the difficulty level is impossible, then we're gonna do that. If it's loser, actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll put loser here. So my idea right now is I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write loser, easy, then medium, else if. Okay, so we have this, right? If it's loser, then we'll have to write some stuff. Worst move, worst move, right? We'll have to call the opposite of minimax somehow. That we'll see how to do that later. Uh, in easy, we'll just make like random moves, right? So what we'll do is we'll just copy this and paste. We already wrote that, right? Great. So let's remove these comments here. Okay. So now, if it's medium or hard, right? So medium, AI is gonna make some mistakes, right? Sometimes it'll make a mistake, sometimes it won't, right? So what we want to do is we want to randomly make some mistakes in between, but also make some smart moves in between, right? That's what I want to do. So what I'll do is if rand, we'll take a random number. If it's lesser than 0.5, then it's gonna make a good move, right? A smart move. It's gonna make a smart move. Otherwise, it's gonna make a random move. Now note, random move can also be a good move, right? That's one thing to take in account here. A random move might be a good move, by coincidence, right? So that's you need to think about that. You might want to, if you want to reduce the difficulty, if you want to reduce the difficulty, what you can do is you can just write the worst move code here instead of a random move. You do the worst move, um, but I think that'll be really uh, in my head that appears kind of weird because sometimes you're doing the best move, sometimes you're doing the worst move. You're not doing anything in between, right? So that's why I kept a random move here, and obviously, so now we want it to we want it to be hard. So let's see 75. So 75% of the time it's gonna make a good move. Otherwise, it'll make a random move, right? Here, 50% of the time it's gonna make a random move or it's gonna make a bad move. Actually, I'll move this to 25, um, or 3, 0.3. So 30% of the time it's gonna make a smart move. Otherwise, the other 70% of the time, the rest 70% of the time, it's gonna make a random move. Here, 75% of the time it's gonna make a good move, a very smart move. But the other, you know, I think I'll make it 0.7. That's it. Okay, so we got this. So we got a thing done. Except for worst move, we need to code worst move real quick. I think worst move is gonna be really easy. Actually, it's just we're just calling we just so this time, yeah. So in the case of worst move, this time the AI will be a minimizing player because it wants to minimize the score. It wants to lose, right? The AI wants to lose at this point because it's the loser. The difficulty is loser, right? So what we'll do is I'll call this worst move function worst move, and I'm gonna start writing something like just like best move but like worst move. So we're actually gonna call the minimizing part of minimax for worst move for a maximizing player. So we just inverted a bunch of things here, right? Oh yeah, because yeah, score needs to be as low as possible. Okay, so we're gonna call worst move over here instead of best move. So what I basically did was I inverted the entire minimax thing. Instead of maximizing the current player, we're minimizing the current player. That is, we're minimizing the AI, right? So and the next player will be maximizing because it's the human, and we want to maximize the human. Okay, so let's see if this actually works. I think we're pretty much done again. Julia, no, again, Julia. But I'm gonna choose. loser first because I'm kind of worried that it won't work. Okay, I chose loser difficulty and I'm gonna play 1-1. Huh, error. Look at that. Already. Return worst score. Oh, I'm returning worst score. Look at that. Should be worst pause. That's it. That's it. Okay. Loser. 1-1. Yay! Now it's making the worst move possible. Okay, let's play 2-2. Let's just win at this point. That's it. It's so we always win. All time. That's good. That's good. Okay. So we're done with this. Let's just check all the other difficulties. Easy. This is working. I'm just gonna play it down for a minute. And I win. Alright. Uh medium. What? Is that still making random moves? Hard. Or did I just get lucky? Yeah, I just got lucky. Yeah, I just got lucky. Okay. So we're done with this. And okay, so our difficulty chooser is done. We have implemented difficulty successfully. Uh, in the next video, we'll look at input scrubbing, and because right now we're assuming every our input that every single input is valid. Next time we'll have to actually validate the input. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. The code that we wrote so far will be in the description. The final product is going to be in the description. The code that we wrote today is going to be in the description. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.